Hey everybody, I am back with two movie reviews today, both horror movies. I'm going to go from worst to best today, and then tomorrow I'll probably bring you two animated movies, one for kids and one not for kids. So, today's first horror movie is on Shudder. It's 0.0 megahertz, which is supposedly the frequency at which the brain is connecting with the dream or the spiritual world, and it allows ghosts in. It's a South Korean movie from 2019, and basically the concept is that you've got a young group of college-aged amateur ghost paranormal hunters, and they've heard of this haunted cabin they want to go check out, and they go out there to, do the research. Nothing too original there, and the whole thing isn't super original, although it starts out promising. You've got the usual characters, you've got the obvious kind of the obvious connections to Evil Dead and the basic sort of setup. They have a good creepy setting. The characters go there, and they're going to do this thing where they basically have the one person lay in the room where there had been a suicide there, and that was supposedly created a ghost. The ghost is kind of one of those long, dark-haired, very common Asian horror type ghosts, and so they take kind of like the equivalent of voodoo dolls, but they're supposed to get the spirits. They have a doll in a bowl and a person laying on the floor with salt around them as a protective barrier, and then another doll hanging where the person originally hung, and then that's supposed to draw forth the ghosts. And from there people get, kind of like Evil Dead, people get possessed, and evil things happen. But nothing's that scary, nothing's that gross or gory, and it's really unfortunately marred by lots of digital effects, which aren't that spectacular. And digital effects can be okay, but in a movie like this, you either have to have really excellent digital effects, or you have to mix it with some really good practical effects, and there isn't hardly anything practical. Almost everything is digital, which just makes it look more fake than it needs to be, and the ghost isn't super scary or original. So overall, this is only like about a 2.5 star for me. It's kind of a skip it unless you're really a completist for Asian horror. I'm always willing to give them a chance because, especially South Korean and Japanese horror tends to be pretty strong, or at least interesting a lot of the times. And it's worth giving them a try to see if you find a good one. But 0.0 megahertz isn't one I would really run out to go see. Now the next one's a 2016 release called Capture, Kill, Release. Now I want to credit Eric Holmes, who's in the Cinematics group of movie fans, and is also one of the members of our brand new podcast that we'll be launching here starting Monday, which is tomorrow when this is being recorded, called Movie Mainline, and we are going to be kind of a companion piece to Cinematics, where Cinematics mostly talks about new and upcoming releases. We are going to talk about things that are available streaming. So Eric had suggested this as a possible good streaming option. It's on Amazon Prime right now. It is a found footage movie, but a very good one, and there aren't that many really good found footage movies, and I think it has a special niche that doesn't quite get touched on very much. So basic concept is you have a young couple, and they're kind of exploring the whole thrill killer sort of idea, which you don't see much. I mean, Rope is a famous one, of course, and then you've got kind of Bonnie and Clyde-esque sort of characters in you got Badlands, you've got Mickey and Mallory and Natural Born Killers, which are both based on the same historical characters. There's another older movie based on them that's really, really good and interesting too, and I forget what it's called, but it's been suggested on Cinematics before. Anyway, this movie is similar, but kind of put in the found footage category. Now here, what you have that's really unique is you basically have a young couple planning a thrill killing almost as a joke, but the woman in the couple is really wants to film it and make it like this film project. So, you know, the whole planning and the talking it through, and you know how they're going to make it work. And you pretty quickly get the feeling that she's more serious about it than the guy is, and that the guy is kind of like, oh, it's funny, haha. We're kind of pretending that we're going to do this, but we're not going to really do it. But you pretty early get an idea that she is quite sociopathic. And I want to give special notice to Jennifer Fraser. She's the actress that plays Jennifer in this, and she is excellent. And the way she plays it is what really sells this, because she plays it like almost the cheerful sociopath. So you quickly see how she is able to be manipulative and really friendly and cheerful and joke about everything, but as it goes along, you see that this is how she treats everything, even when it's super dark and super messed up. Sorry if there's noise in the background. Our dog always likes to make noise when I'm making these. It's like that is the cue for her to eat. So you're gonna hear her eating in the background. Anyway, Jennifer in the couple is really the mastermind and the power force. And as it gets darker and darker, it gets really, there's some super dark humor and some really disturbing scenes where her attitude is just the same, pretty much, but she's doing things that are really messed up as opposed to this kind of playful planning stage that they start out at. Now, with that being said, I want to say definitely this is triggering. If you're not into some more extreme horror, this is not for you, for sure. Because when it gets dark, it goes totally dark. And in scenes that a lot of movies would cut away from, they won't cut away. And even though it's low budget, the effects are practical and they're very effective and are pretty messed up. So when you get to those scenes, you'll be a little messed up and disturbed by them. But overall, it's a very effective horror if you're into good found footage of a different sort, and if you're into that kind of almost like dramatized true crime drama sort of a thing with a very, very dark comic twist to it, then I would definitely check out this movie on Amazon Prime. For me, this is a 4-star movie. For the average person, it could really vary wildly. It could be hated by some. I could see it being really loved by some who are into more extreme horror. I'm kind of, I'll watch some of the extreme horror, but it's not like my favorite. But this is definitely on the good end of that, without going so far that it just becomes, you know, super disgusting. There's at least a redeeming element to this, in my opinion. So it would be a good one to check out, especially if you're into horror. And we'll be back soon. Hope you enjoyed those reviews.